My childhood home has many supernatural mysteries that were hard to explain since many people weren't open to talking about them. After a few years, I was able to learn something rather disturbing about the property of my neighbor. During one of the talks, I learned that in the far back of his property, there is a large circular area of empty land. In the dead center, there is a large empty hole with a very small patch of white flowers that only blooms along its rim. The owner stumbled upon the area after he had already purchased his home and was unaware of this bizarre area. During the first few months, he tried planting several trees to fill the empty land. Going to check on them, he noticed the new trees would die. Believing it was just bad timing, he tried again. The owner found this strange since he was an avid gardener and loved to have gardens next to his home. After many attempts to keep the trees alive, he eventually gave up, only to have some unwanted side effects. A few days later, strange noises similar to screams started to fill the back of his property at night. He first thought it was the neighbors that lived behind him, but they claimed they were not the rowdy type. Eventually, the noises stopped, but were quickly replaced with something more unnatural. Strange shadows started to appear in the forest behind his home. He described them as resembling deer, wolves, and even people, but were just not right. Like with the screams, they would only appear around dusk and continue until sunrise. Fearing for the worst, he started to clear the wooded area. When he finished, he had roughly an acre of empty land between his back porch and the forest. According to him, whatever was in the back of his property was not happy. He would then start to see shadows walking around his home and could even hear their footsteps. I can vouch for his claims, since at the time I was good friends with his niece. I chose to spend the night once, and only once, since I thought he was just trying to be scary. It didn't take long before I got to experience the same phenomenon he had been living with for years. Before my sleepover, I wondered why he encouraged us to always have bright security lights and why he enjoyed having loud music. After learning what he lived with, followed by experiencing it firsthand, it was quite obvious why they were so important. I truly believe that lifeless circle in the back of his property is just one of the sources for all of the supernatural occurrences I experienced as a child.